I am a 25-year-old clerical worker heading home from Orange County's new transit-oriented business village. Across the street are a group of kids walking in front of the gas station, with its 8 to 10 different types of pumps, all sorted by fuel type. On one side are the large gas, diesel, and natural gas pumps. On the other are the hydrogen and electric charging stations. As they approach the intersection, the youngest kid races ahead, and the lights at the edge of the sidewalk blink, signifying there is traffic in the intersection. The crosswalks are clearly marked, and the pavement is smooth and new. The slightly blue tint in the pavement reflects the non-petroleum-based low-emission asphalt. You can't see the pedestrian sensors under the pavement, but they can communicate with the newer automated vehicles to let the cars know that the light is going to be red or that a pedestrian is crossing. The turn lane has a green thermoplastic coating to signify that it doubles as a bike lane. The rightmost lane also has the coating and dedicated bicycle lights. There are a wide mix of vehicles leaving the transit-oriented business village. A few 15-year-old hybrids driven by teenagers and young college kids, and a number of brand new all-electric cars on their way to the freeway's autonomous toll lanes. 2- and 3-seater neighborhood electric vehicles whiz by soundlessly. These share the road with hybrid megatrucks, which get a low 40 miles per gallon and cost $800 a year to register, but are still popular with those who have the room to park them. Finally, the light for the cars turns red. The bicycle light stays green for another 10 seconds to allow the bikes to clear the intersection, and one lone straggler crosses on an electric Uno. The music from his speaker is accompanied by the whir from the hub motor. As soon as the bicycle light for the other direction turns green, the automated BRT bus starts to cross. 10 seconds later, the car lights finally turn green. 2 senior citizens whir up behind the kids on their personal mobility chairs. The scooters sense that they are not in a dedicated mobility lane, and so have a low beeping sound alerting the group that they are there. The assortment of vehicles stopped at the intersection includes both automated vehicles tied into the centralized traffic control system, as well as several legacy vehicles driven the old-fashioned way. While they're crossing, one driver approaches the intersection. This vehicle has no automated controls, since it isn't slowing down enough to stop. The driver, on a call with his automated stockbroker, runs the light, nearly hitting the group. The driver's phone buzzes with an automatic citation. While the driver looks at the citation, his phone buzzes again as he has been notified by his insurance company of an immediate rate increase. It might be time for him to invest in a new 2026 car with automated control systems, since this is the third ticket he has gotten in the last 2 years for similar situations.
I am a 45-year-old transit worker at Broadway and Vernon Avenue, just south of downtown Los Angeles. I am trying to reach my ultimate destination in the huge transit center in West Los Angeles. The 10-foot wide sidewalk on Broadway has an uncomfortably crowded feeling. Its level of service is an F-. Fuel costs have spawned a new surge in walking, but I cannot move at a brisk pace. People and other obstructions combine to make this morning's walking trip an adventure. A large number of elderly people on the sidewalk are on scooters, and several people have Honda Walk Assisters on their legs. These seem as common as eyeglasses used to be. Linked by tiny sensors, worn like headphones, they check balance and create responsive movements by mimicking leg muscle activity. The crowd shares the sidewalk with many wagons, most of them drones that follow behind their owners. The wagons are typically filled with produce or other items to swap. It once seemed inconceivable that we could adapt to fewer cars and less money this way, but life goes on. For example, the new fad is to worry about every ounce of weight that might be pulled, pushed, or carried. Because of the cost, people think twice about moving themselves or any baggage from one place to another. In advertising, light is the new black or the old green. I weave through the bags, wagons, and people to reach the corner, but I cannot cross because the long line of articulated buses has stacked up and backed up. Only the old cameras and light detection systems are in place in this area, so unruly queues of super-articulated buses are the norm. It is a risk, but I look for any sort of gap between the monster vehicles. Since car use is down, jaywalking enforcement by the police has escalated into a primary public revenue source. The curb and the street are in sorry shape, lots of potholes. In this part of the city, the little lighter cars, for those lucky enough to have one, just cannot weather the pounding. I wind in and out from among the various shapes and sizes of buses, jitneys, and converted privateer minivans. Any newer vehicles are entirely covered by advertising. The ads a standard part of any lease agreement. I am also facing refitted 2015 vintage SUVs with outboard suspension systems and huge springs. This horde of vehicles does not seem to show much respect for pedestrians or any other type of traffic control rules. Lots of cyclists here too, but the unmaintained pavement makes that mode very precarious and unpredictable. Several of us see our bus and form a line. When I thrust my pass in front of the bus door sensor, a voice responds, "Admit one." I grab the overhead handrail and my day begins.